What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. It's officially OU Texas week. As OU has the bye week heading into the Red River rivalry, make sure you order your upside-down Longhorn hats at thefanstop.com. You have a couple weeks to do that. Get yours today. OU coming off their first SEC win on the road, Jordan-Hare Stadium, led by standout freshman Michael Hawkins Jr., 10 of 15, 161 yards through the air, 14 carries, 69 yards to the ground, and even went in the air as he was running the ball in that two-point conversion. Key stat, though, 0 turnovers. And Mike Hawkins Jr., guys, big reason why the Sooners were able to pull off this victory on the road at Auburn.
Yeah, Jeremy, Mike Hawkins Jr., no turnovers on the day. To me, that's the most crucial stat, the most important thing. Because as Hawkins said in his post-game interview, the environment there was nothing like he'd ever heard in football. It was extremely loud. We heard it while Hawkins was trying to get in the cadences, trying to change the play at the line of scrimmage, him having to yell at the offensive lineman 2 or 3 times. So the ability for Hawkins to not get rattled, to stay in the pocket at certain times and make throws when it was needed. I still think there's times where he tends to leave the pocket a little bit early when it's not needed, to kind of go through his reads more. I think that's something that he'll continue to grow and get more comfortable with. But Hawkins, we saw the ability with the explosive run he had for the touchdown, the ability to outrun the second level and third level guys of Auburn's defense. If you ask me, in that play, I saw a little bit of Kyler Murray, just the flash, the speed he has, the ability to get upfield to make a guy miss. And then the throw to J.J. Hester, that's debatably the best throw we've seen the OU QB make all season long so far. Hit him in stride, in which a play I thought J.J. Hester was going to score on. And I think that Hawkins, he did a lot of really good things first start with how this offense at certain times in the game was struggling. And two, Hawkins' ability to use his legs, I think, is going to open up a lot in the run game as the season goes on throughout the year. As we saw, Oklahoma did have a little bit more success when it came to running the ball on the ground.
Yeah, the offense as a whole, 4.1 yards per carry, 132 yards, and of those yards, 48 of them, 130 yards, 48 on that Michael Hawkins touchdown run. And I don't think it's fair to compare him to anything. Like, Michael Hawkins is his own person. Like, I think Oklahoma fans need to step back from that, trying to compare people to other quarterbacks. Like, he's a true freshman. Let him be Michael Hawkins Jr. Let's not throw the Kyler Murray, the whoever you could throw. I mean, I know there was some people a couple nights ago on the live saying Jaden Daniels even. Like, let the kid make a name for himself, and that's what he's doing. I mean, that 48-yard touchdown run, that was the longest rush of the year for Oklahoma. Before that, it was 46-yarder by Jackson Arnold a couple weeks ago. That 60-yard pass to J.J. Hester, that was the longest pass of the season. And again, Oklahoma still struggling on offense. I think everyone expected that. No one honestly should have expected for Michael Hawkins to be the magical solution for Oklahoma. But he looks really good for a true freshman to go into Jordan-Hare. People talked about it at SEC Media Days about how difficult that place is to play. Him to go in there, first start, and get the win. It wasn't pretty, but a win is a win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Again, Oklahoma's big plays, they had a few more than they normally do. They had 5 in the passing game, 146 yards. Michael Hawkins had 161 yards passing. So almost all of his passing yards came on what's, quote, a big play, which is a pass over for a gain of 15 or more yards. That's something to note. Also, the rush that he had, only 2 sacks. Again, Oklahoma struggling on third down still, but you have to like the improvement that he had. And again, this is the second straight week of Michael Hawkins putting his body on the line for the team. I mean, he took some hits in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, that 2-point conversion. I mean, to go air Bradford into the goal line for the 2-point conversion. That's impressive for a true freshman to do, to be able to put his body on the line like that for his team and leading Oklahoma to their first SEC win ever.
Well, a couple of things. I mean, Oklahoma's history is pretty big time. And for him to be the first true freshman to start a road game and win their first road game. I mean, it's historic. It's what it is. That's what we watched today. Specifically, they're in the SEC now. I mean, it's big time. But going back to a few things I saw from Hawkins, you mentioned the big plays. Here's the thing: the offense didn't look outstanding. I mean, most of their yards were on 2 plays. You take the Hawkins run and the Hester pass, that's like over 100, that's like 110, 115 yards, and they only had in the 200. So, I mean, I will say this. There were 2 big plays that got called back because penalties that would have been big plays. Those got called back. But when I watched Hawkins today, here's what I know about Hawkins. He's played 6 quarters of ball against Tennessee and Auburn, about a 64, 65% completion rate. 0 turnovers, and they've scored points with him on the field that they weren't really doing before. I mean, you had the second half against Tennessee, and then today you score, you take away the defensive touchdown, you score right at 20 points. So they did score some points. It's not great offensively right now. He made a lot out of nothing sometimes. One thing, my favorite part from Michael Hawkins today was after the pass to Hester, they get down on the first down, hand it to Barnes. He is ripping into the O lineman. He's ripping into Barnes, like, let's get this in the end zone. Let's punch it in. And he's fired up and he's motivating those guys. And then you see him do the 2-point. Who's not going to want to give it all with what they see him do out there? So I think he's energized this offense. Now I think the bye week comes at the perfect time because you have 2 weeks to clean up some of this, whether it be a read, whether it be getting in sync with your receivers, tight ends, whatever it may be, the O-line. So now they got 2 weeks to try to clean up some offensive things, but he definitely energized this offense, and it was a historic time for Michael Hawkins to get the victory as a true freshman.
Yeah, and really, you talk about the comparisons; those are unfair. But the other thing that's, if you notice, you go back to this game, way more big plays in this game. Even you had the long play to Sharp called back because of just a ridiculous play by Jake Roberts. A couple other big plays. One thing I think every Sooner fan can agree with: if you don't have negative plays and penalties, you really should feel pretty good about Hawkins in a 3rd and 6 situation with his ability to use his legs, because it's just another dimension that he can easily get outside. He can easily step one up in there. Like you said, Jay's completion percentage is high. He seems to be a leader. Like, a lot of great things moving forward. And now I even heard in the post game, Seth Luttrell talked about that Hawkins missed Brennan Thompson a couple of times. Just didn't see him. Yeah. He was wide open.
Yeah.
I think maybe the more he's in it and against these elite opponents, it's going to help because it does sound like they're going to be able to do some things. And especially when you add the dimension, they didn't run a lot of QB design plays to run. He still had think about that, 14 carries. The line's got to be better because those were not designed runs. So he ran 14 times on his own because of pressure. Got to be better. In that area on the line. But Michael Hawkins, man, just a gamer.
Yeah. Hunter, I was not trying to compare Hawkins to Murray. I'm just saying the ability of how he flashed in the open field. That was my point. I was trying to compare him to Kyle Murray.
Yeah, I get that. It's just there's been a lot of comparisons over the last few weeks, and I don't think that's fair to Michael Hawkins. Just let him be Michael Hawkins. I mean, talk about a rough stretch in terms of difficulty to start a career. You're going in second half basically against Tennessee down 16 points, trying to figure out something, establish some sort of offense that was completely non-existent for the first 2 quarters, go on the road to Jordan-Hare. They get the win there. And then 2 weeks going down to Dallas, a 1-1 environment. So quite the difficult stretch for Michael Hawkins.
Hey, one thing I want to say that they rolled him out a couple times. Seth did. He had the one play to Hester on the outside that Hester kind of broke a few tackles. That was a great throw on the run. I think they can do some things with him on the edge. He looks really good throwing the ball on the run. So, and what I love about him is when he scrambles, even if he runs it, you don't know. He might pass it. Like, he looks like he's looking downfield, a.k.a. Other guys that have played in offenses and scramble like that. He is not just automatically looking to run. The O-line's got to be better because I think the Thompson things that you mentioned, was it Jeremy or Jackson that mentioned that? the Brennan Thompson stuff, I think a lot of that is you're used to them not blocking anybody. So your account in your head's very quick. And if it's, you're already thinking, I got to get out of there. So that's going to come with better blocking, I think.
Yeah, and he definitely is electric in the open field. And OU, he's got the OU DNA, guys. As father Mike Hawkins Sr. played for the University of Oklahoma, but Michael Hawkins Jr. Gets it done in his first start at the University of Oklahoma. And now, bye week in Texas waiting around the corner. Make sure you order your Red River Rivalry upside down Longhorn hats on thefanstop.com. And thanks for watching the videos here at the Sooner Surge. We'll catch you next time.